Welcome to Town Works by Public Works. My name is Suzanne Bernier Robinson. Today we're going to be learning about the road maintenance that is done here in Derry. I have with me one of Derry's engineering technicians, Dave Blanchard. Welcome, Dave.
Thank you.
So Dave, we're here at the Londonderry Town Line, and we're about half a mile from Route 93. I think many people think that Derry's Town Line goes all the way to 93. Is that right?
That is not correct. We are at the Londonderry line, and from here to 93 is the town of Londonderry. And it is actually, as I understand it, the responsibility of the New Hampshire DOT.
Okay, so we'll be paving and resurfacing Derry's road up until this line, which is really close to the Derry Restaurant Plaza, Pizza Restaurant, and then it's up to the town to pick up the paving. That road definitely looks like it needs to be resurfaced also. So Londonderry won't be responsible for repaving that.
I don't believe so. This part of Route 102 is within what is called the urban compact zone, and when you have a state route within an urban compact zone, it becomes the responsibility of that city or town for maintenance purposes.
Okay. What exactly are they going to be doing here today?
Today we have a construction crew that is removing the sewer manhole frames and covers in order for the milling machine to do a full width mill of the surface of the road without interference from that structure.
There obviously are different phases of construction for resurfacing.
Correct. This would be the initial phase of removing those types of structures. The second phase would be the actual mill of the surface of the road.
And is that when it's all kind of graded up and rough, the milling?
That's correct, yeah. You have a very rough surface that's sometimes difficult for motorcycles. You'll see signs, motorcycles use caution. But for the average vehicle, it's fine. It just feels rough while you're driving your vehicle.
So that's phase one today. Phase two is the milling. Give me the other phases.
The third phase would be what we call a shim or a leveling course of asphalt that reshapes the road and gives a nice smooth surface for us to come back and readjust those utility structures, manholes, water boxes, catch basins, storm drains.
So those are all different surfaces or areas that may interfere with the surface of the road.
Correct, correct. Any structures like that you want below the surface for the milling portion. Then once you shimmer, pave, level pave, you can readjust those structures back to the thickness of your final course of asphalt.
So all those different utilities need to be notified that the road is going to be resurfaced. Do they have anything to do with that, or is it?
Those utilities happen to be town utilities. Fortunately, we have no gas in the road at this point of the construction limit. So what we're dealing with is town storm drainage, town sewer, and town water. So we can all handle that within house.
So how do you determine when a road needs to be resurfaced?
We use a pavement condition index, or otherwise known as PCI.
Sounds really fancy.
Yes. It's a program that's been around for many years, and it's very advantageous for us to use it. We've been doing it for over 20 years. And it tells us the condition of a road and when we need to spend some attention to that road.
So tell me then, how is the process? What does it evaluate? How much traffic is on the road? Does someone walk the road? Tell me a little bit more about that process.
In a nutshell, we do a survey of the entire town every 3 years.
You mean every road in town every 3 years?
Correct. Every road in town every 3 years has a visual survey done to it. We grade that road based on its deficiencies. There are 9 to 10 different deficiencies we look at. And we go back to the office, we plug those deficiencies into a program that analyzes each individual segment of road, gives us ultimately a condition of that road. When a road is brand new, we have a condition of 100. Over time, that number continues to go down just from age.
a set number of roads that you do each year, or is that all fall within a budget?
Yeah, it's correct. It's budget driven,
Okay.
and the town council will allot a certain amount of money towards road improvement, and we take that amount of money and distribute it accordingly based on the needs of the road network.
Well, it looks like it's really quiet right now. There was a lot of jackhammering going on, and that looked like they were just doing that to remove the, is that a sewer manhole that they were removing?
Correct. That's a sewer manhole. We do have a crew behind them that will come in and patch that hole so that traffic can travel over it temporarily until we do the milling and shimming.
So they'll patch that hole. We won't have access to the sewer below, is that right?
Not unless you have a jackhammer. It is a temporary situation, and it may be a week and a half till we have that cover back on there.
A few weeks ago, I recall crews out marking and spray painting the roads. What was that about?
We will identify the location of each structure, because once we mill and shim the road, we lose the location of our water boxes and our sewer manholes. Fortunately, we leave the catch basins, storm drains exposed in case we have a storm event. So those are visually we can see. But for these structures, sewer and water gates, we lose them. So we have to identify where they are so we can relocate them.
So how much prep work has already gone into this project before they even started today?
Quite a bit, quite a bit. We fortunately had our water department out examining every gate box in the road, and there were easily over 40 of them. So they examined them for access and condition. So they've been out there addressing that, and now we have the contractor out addressing the sewer manhole covers.
So we are paving today, well, not paving today, but this project is actually running from the Derry town line to, where is the other end?
It is at Manning Street, which I believe is the West Broadway, East Broadway line, the old railroad tracks.
And how long do you think the whole project is going to take?
We are advertising it could last up to a month. We would hope it would be shorter than that, but we need to give ourselves that leeway in the event of inclement weather, scheduling difficulties.
Dave and I are outside of Sabatino's looking at phase 2 of the resurfacing of Broadway. Dave, now you told me the other day last week that the second phase was the milling phase. Can you go into more detail about what they are doing?
This machine here behind us is taking off about 1.5 inches of the top course of asphalt, the existing asphalt of the road. And that provides a great surface for us to reapply new asphalt onto the road surface. It provides what we call a leveling course or a leveling surface, takes all the deficiencies out of the road, gives us a nice smooth surface to apply the shim course of asphalt to the road surface.
Is that surface that they're pulling up recycled or reused in any way?
Yeah, good point. It is. It's actually a neat way of recycling the old asphalt. Certain percentage amount of this product will be put back into newer asphalts and applied to a new road surface.
So the grading of the road, that is going to just make it a little bit more level. Is that the time that you would try to take any deficiencies off the road if it's uneven or?
Exactly. Yeah, you said it perfectly. This treatment here provides us a new surface to work from, where they can pave in a new smooth surface. Creates a great bond to the old surface, and gives us a point to which we can readjust the sewer manholes, water gate boxes, catch basins, get them at grade so the final course of asphalt will match nicely.
Is there any adhesive or anything that goes onto the milled surface that the asphalt is going to adhere a little bit better when you do pave?
Yep, there's a product that all the paving contractors use called emulsion, and that product helps bind the new asphalt to the old asphalt, and today's paving contractors wouldn't work without it. It's a rather tacky substance that is really proved its worth over the years.
So what is the next phase then? Because this looks like it's going to be finishing up in the next few minutes.
Yep.
What is phase 3?
Phase 3 will be a what we call a shim or a leveling course of asphalt. It's only about 3/4 of an inch thick, and that, like I described, gives us a surface to work from to put on the final course of asphalt.
Okay. So phase 4 is going to be laying the pavement down.
Yeah, phase. I think we're on phase 2 now. Phase 3 will be shim.
Yep.
Phase 4 we'll have a contractor come back in, readjust all those structures we spoke about.
Okay.
And I guess if you would, phase 5 would be the final course of asphalt.
The paving there. Well, it seems like it's been going really fast. Traffic doesn't seem to have been affected that much by what's going on.
No, fortunately, we're in the part of the road that happens to be the widest. And this machine only takes up about 8 to 10 feet of width. And with the road being about 50 feet wide, we can get 2 lanes of traffic going through here.
Well, it looks like it's going along really well. Have you run into any problems or surprises?
Knock on wood, not yet, but you never know with this type of work.
All right, we'll wait and see until the next phase, which is going to happen tomorrow, or will it be another week?
It is scheduled for tomorrow. It's weather critical, so we have to see what the weather brings.
Okay. Well, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so
We'll see what happens.
we'll see. I'm here with Alan Cote, Superintendent of Highways, Roads, Buildings, and Cemeteries here in Derry. Alan, tell us a little bit about the last phase, okay, phase 4, with the raising of the adjustment of the structures. What did that involve?
Well, we had approximately 45 catch basins. I can't tell you right offhand how many gate boxes and how many manholes. I can't remember the numbers immediately, but over 100 pieces of iron that had to be brought up. After we were done with the milling, we had to adjust all our iron. We shimmed everything, then we adjusted the iron so there would be about 1.5 inches up. So when we put the wearing course on, you don't hit a dip in the road when you get to those manholes, those gate boxes, those catch basins. They have to be raised in advance of us doing the finished paving, which is what we're doing tonight.
How do you actually raise those adjustments?
It depends. The gate boxes are actually telescopic. There's actually a lower sleeve and an upper sleeve, and they slide one inside the other. So they're brought up to grade, and then we cement around them, or we put hot mix asphalt around them to hold them in place until it cures. That way when we come through with our wearing course, we're all set. As far as the catch basins and the sewer manholes go, we actually need to brick those. So they're actually mortared and bricked up to the proper grade.
Okay, and so this phase is phase 5. They're finally doing the paving. We're here at Manning Street and Broadway on a Sunday night. I'm assuming you choose the evening because of traffic.
Yeah, there are over 20,000 vehicles per day that use Broadway.
Okay.
October 12th seems to be a perfect night for us to be doing it. A lot of people are away for the weekend because tomorrow's a holiday. Temperatures are working out great for us tonight, and this was the time to get it done. A Sunday night, we're going to have probably the lightest traffic we're going to have on this road. And we started at 7 o'clock tonight. Probably actually around 6:30 tonight we got started. And we should be done by about 3 o'clock tomorrow morning.
So how much, this is asphalt, tar, what?
It would be
Is it all the same?
It's bituminous concrete. Asphalt is actually the glue that holds it together.
Okay.
But everybody calls it asphalt. I mean,
Okay.
whether you call it tar, asphalt, or bituminous concrete, scientifically, it's bituminous concrete. That's the
Okay.
proper term.
So how much are you going to be putting down tonight?
Be 1,500 tons of hot mix asphalt going on tonight between the depot where we're standing in front of to the London-Derry line. At a cost of about $105,000 for the wearing course tonight.
Wow, okay. It feels pretty toasty. So what temperature is it?
The hot mix asphalt will come out of the plant around 325 degrees. So when it gets here, it's still pretty close to that temperature because of the thermal mass. They're hauling over 20 tons on the flow boys that you saw earlier in the video. And they're also heated bodies. The exhaust from the trucks actually run through the sides of the body in order to keep the truck bed hot. So they don't lose a lot of temperature between West Road and Londonderry and here. It's a very short commute.
So I saw 2 trucks going by. Are you running them in tandem?
We actually have 2 pavers running in tandem because the road is so wide. What we chose to do is we decided that we would pave the westbound lane with 2 pavers up until we get to where the road narrows to the point where we can use 1 paver to cover the entire lane. That'll happen down by the bridge near Marion Garrish Community Center. At that point, the lane will narrow to about 20 feet because the total width of the large paver, the largest width it can pave is 20 feet wide.
Wow, that's quite a bit.
Well, it wasn't opened wide open here at the beginning because it couldn't go out the 28 feet that we needed up in this section. So what we did was we ran both pavers narrow. They actually have expandable chutes on the sides so they can actually vary the width as they're going down the road.
I see. So we haven't actually stopped traffic yet. Are you going to be stopping at any point tonight?
No, our goal is to, again, we're going to pave the westbound lanes first. We're going to go all the way to the Londonderry line. We'll let it firm up a little bit, then we're going to shift over to the other side of the road and we're going to start paving the eastbound lanes, and we'll keep one-way traffic going all night on either eastbound or westbound lane.
That's really thoughtful to do it that way so that residents of Derry aren't inconvenienced.
Well, we put out signs well in advance of this, trying to warn people and trying to get people to seek alternate routes. The signs say it everywhere, seek alternate routes. I think a lot of it's a curiosity factor. People want to see what's going on. We have people from out of town that really don't know an alternate route, but there's certainly, I think we will divert some traffic. And of course, we still have people that are out for dinner tonight, so the traffic is still a little heavy, but I think by 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. we should see it die off to almost no cars at all.
Right. I also, when I was watching, saw someone that looked like they had metal slippers on. I don't know how else to describe it. What was he wearing?
He's wearing duck shoes.
Duck shoes.
Duck shoes. Basically, they're a large pad that goes on the bottom of the raker's shoes, and what it does is it allows him to spread his weight, much like a snowshoe when you're walking on snow, so he doesn't put his footprints into the hot mix asphalt. He can also duck shoe around obstacles, around curb lines, in order to compact areas where a roller might not be able to get to. He'll actually tamp them down a little bit with his feet.
Just his weight is enough.
It's still a very small surface area, so yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want to duck shoe an entire road, or when you're doing around a gate box, or if you're doing around a slight corner on a curb line where a roller can't get, it'll compress it properly.
His weight's enough.
Yes.
Right. And his feet don't get hot?
Surprisingly not. Actually, we wear winter shoes year round. I wear a thermal shoe, whether it's summer or winter. In the winter, I wear them to keep my feet warm. In the summer, I wear them to keep my feet cooler. So, if they're wearing an insulated boot, you're not going to see anybody out here in sneakers, because if they're in sneakers, yeah, their feet would get really hot.
So tell me about the big, I want to call it a roller, but that's probably not the right term for it.
Actually, it is a roller. It's a pavement roller. Oftentimes people call them steam rollers. They're not really steam rollers, even though you might see steam coming off them right now. Back historically at the turn of the century, not the last century, the one previous, they were run by steam engines. Obviously nowadays they're not run by steam engines, they're internal combustion engines. But we're running 3 rollers tonight, 2 10-ton broad rollers and a 5-ton finish roller, along actually with a 4th roller. We have a 2.5-ton roller that's running the curb line in order to get the small areas, any areas they can get with a small roller right up tight to the curb line.
So how heavy I mean, they're vibrating the ground, so they've got to be, how many pounds?
2 of them weigh 10 tons apiece. That's so 20,000 pounds. The one behind you right now is a 5-ton roller, so it weighs 10,000 pounds. And then there's the 2.5-ton, which weighs 5,000 pounds.
Well, these vehicles really look like a lot of fun to drive.
I've never driven one, so I couldn't
You never?
tell you.
Oh, I can see why little boys are attracted to these machines. There's quite a few men working out here tonight. So how many men in all do you have?
We have 12 trucks running. Each paving crew has probably 6 guys on it, on the paver itself. And then there's an operator on each roller. So we're looking at 6, 12, 16,
so
approximately 30 people plus traffic control. So by the time we get everybody everything added up between engineers overseeing the projects, we're talking over 40 people working tonight.
Tell me the next phase after this, because we're not done.
No, pavement markings are currently scheduled for Wednesday, weather permitting. We're actually putting down thermoplastic instead of paint out here.
Thermoplastic instead of paint.
Yeah, thermoplastic is a much thicker product than paint, and it's actually put down, as it says thermo, it's heated. It's actually melted into place. It goes down at over 300 degrees, and it actually really melts down into the hot top. Typically, it lasts 3 to 5 years we can get of wear out of it versus 1 winter out of paint.
Oh, is that usually only how long it lasts? Is 1 winter with paint?
Yeah, we paint every road in this town that all the roads we stripe in Derry, we stripe annually. But when we put thermoplastic down, we'll still touch it up next year, but it won't be worn down to the point where it virtually disappears. If we did the crosswalks out here with straight paint, by springtime with 20,000 cars a day over it, it virtually gets erased.
So what is the difference in cost?
It's about 10 times more expensive to put down thermoplastic.
But it lasts 5 times longer.
5 times longer, and it's not just a matter of the amount of time it lasts, but down in the downtown area, it's a matter of safety. We have better visibility in the wintertime. No matter what we do, we can't paint in the winter, so we can't touch up the roads in the wintertime for paint. And you also can't put thermoplastic down on an old hot top. It won't work. So the only time to really use the thermoplastic is when we have a brand new road.
Okay. Well, and the labor that's involved in painting it every year. So I would think there would be some balance there, that it would be worthwhile to put the thermoplastic down.
Absolutely. And the other thing is of course, by having it, we're not on a heavily traveled road like this, we're not having as much of an impact on traffic like we would with paint.
That too. I'm sure the residents appreciate that also. It's been about 10 days since we looked at the milling phase of resurfacing Broadway. The painting of the lines have been done for a few days now. So the entire project has probably run about 2 to 3 weeks, I'd say. It's been on time, it's been on budget, and we've learned a lot about what goes into resurfacing a road. Once again, my name is Suzanne Bernier Robinson. Thank you for watching Derry Community Television.